You are watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in sunny, sweltering Southern California. That guy out there is
Skip Falconer, and I'm in sunny, sweltering Los Angeles, California.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in the armpit of the San Gabriel Valley, by the way. Skip and I, we're really fortunate because this is a brand new tequila that they were kind enough to send us. Hannah Lee and her communications PR company were nice enough to get us samples of De Nada tequila. And this is so new, it's barely coming on the market on the East Coast, New York, Connecticut. It's probably not even available in Southern California yet, but you can buy it online. But we're going to taste the juice first. This is the Blanco. We have a Blanco and a Reposado, which is, they do something very unusual with the Reposado. We'll explain to you when we get to that. Let's taste it first, and then we'll tell people why it's so special, okay? So I'm gonna pop this baby open. And Skip he's just now breaking the seal on his. I had to use a box cutter to take care of that because I'm so. Oh, hello. I've been known to wrestle with the cellophane for 20 minutes before I can open it. We're gonna pour some, and I'm using the Distilled Jarrito for tequila. Ooh, nice little bubbles. Nice bubbles on that. And Skip's using this Blanco. So let's see. Oh, there it is. There's my napkin. So we're going to pour some. Of course, it's the Blanco, so it's unaged. And just for the sake of looking at it, I will tell you that that the legs and tears are natural. Wow.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know if you folks can see that on my camera here. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. It's actually the middle of the day for us, and so we're using afternoon lighting. Nice string of pearls, beautiful legs and tears, and it's as clear as a bell.
Yes.
So when I popped the cork and I smelled the neck of the bottle, it was fresh. It smelled baked, but it was only for a brief moment. Now, to be fair, we just broke the seal on both of these. We haven't touched them, and they've been in our offices only days. I think you got yours like the other day. I think your sample, and mine like late last week or something. So they got this to us very quickly. I do appreciate that because it's rare. Sometimes we ask for it and months later they show up without telling us. So, oh, Skip, tell me what you smell.
Oh,
wow.
Got a lot of grass. Oh, the agave.
Yeah. There's virtually no alcohol. I mean, yeah, right now, of course, it's going to take a little bit to open up a little bit. I'm using the Distilled Jarrito for tequila, so it's got a much the same chimney as the Glencairn. Wow.
I get some anise in there also.
That's not uncommon. I'll tell you why. This tequila is being made at one of our favorite distilleries, NOM 1414. That's Feliciano V. Blanco y Asociados. And every time they produce a tequila, I jump on that because I've been to that distillery. I know the family. I've met the patriarch before he passed away. I know what they stand for and who else has their tequila there. They have some stunning brands that have come out of there. And so when I saw these two youngins, these two cubs who said, hey, we're coming out with this new tequila. And I thought, oh, okay, young guys, what do they know, right? Well, somebody, apparently they've been doing their homework because how many distilleries did they say they visited? They tell us some of the information, I think. like 3 years and
Yeah.
like 20 distilleries, something crazy like that.
Yeah, a lot of them. This is nice.
There's almost like like something briny or peppery like at the bottom. Are you
Yes,
getting that, or is it just me?
there is something peppery at the bottom. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, right in the middle.
right in the center. Yeah, exactly. Normally in the center at the bottom, some tequilas will have a little bit of alcohol that will come up and just present itself, but there's none virtually here. Instead, we get that kind of a chili, peppery kind of smell to it, like a briny smell.
Now that it's opening up a little bit, I get some olive also.
That's it. That's it. That's it. I know I call it a briny, but it's more. You're right. It's like olive or olive juice.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Not olive oil so much, but like an olive juice.
Right.
That's kind of how they make a dirty martini. I think is it how they do that. Not that I would know, but I at first pass, it's got that baked agave. So let's give this a shot and see what we get. Mm. 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 Wow.
Wow. You know, I didn't think this was going to be as sweet as it is, but it's not. It's not a sugary cloying. This is a nice and the pepper on the center.
Yeah. Yeah, and by the way, it's got a nice finish too. That's got a medium to long finish on that.
Yes. Yes.
I thought, I was talking with Skip off camera, and I said, I had something to eat previously, and I always keep a bottle of vodka in the office because I rinse my mouth out with vodka, and I thought sometimes if you do that and then immediately have a tequila, at first pass it's super sweet, and I have to give it a couple more passes. But I'm surprised that you caught that it was as sweet for you as it was for me on the first pass.
Yeah.
And wow, this finish this
It,
keeps it keeps going. It's like a
it's
good
going.
Moscato.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
This is nice.
I I'm really amazed by the structure. The nose, maybe because it hasn't opened up, it wasn't. It was single faceted. You know what I mean? It was just, this is what it is. This is how I smell. And if we had more time, we'd let it open up. But on the intake, wow, all the explosion at mid palate, and then it finishes almost a little dry, almost dry.
Yes. Yes.
I got to give it another stop, another
Yeah.
snort here. When you hear me clearing my throat, folks, that's just me doing some retronasal, and I do that even while I'm holding the tequila on my palate, even before I swallow. And when I was doing retronasal, I caught a little bit of the anise that you caught at the beginning.
Yes. And
Because
it's a nice mint
yeah,
that's going on now.
yep.
I'm not
Wow,
sure because peppermint it's not peppermint, but it's
it's like a spearmint.
yes.
Yeah. Um, this is outstanding. Let me tell you what the ins and outs. Okay, the way this works is this is from Feliciano Blanco y Asociados. Okay, and this is NOM 1414. I love what it says here. It says, let's raise a glass to those who love tequila but have yet to find the one, to those who broke up with it but want to rekindle the fire, This is what you've been waiting for, de nada, additive free. Now, there's a big push for the additive, non-additive. It's just it's a movement. Let's just put it that way. Because if you know anything about the normas, the rules and regulations of tequila, they do allow 1% of additives. However, depending on who's interpreting the rule, Blancos are not allowed to have additives. Although I've had one this year that had an additive to it and didn't say so on the bottle. But that's in a whole nother video. But anyway, it's additive free, gluten free. All tequilas are gluten free, folks. They all are. And what I love is they have a certain process. If you know anything about NOM 1414, they have copper pot stills. They use open air fermentation where it's just natural yeast. If I'm not mistaken, they are one of 2 distilleries that I know of that they make their yeast, they culture their yeast from their own plants. The Vivancos have their own fields. They don't take shortcuts. And my favorite, they play Mozart. They use the Mozart method of tequila fermentation, which I love. I'm in the middle of writing the definitive book on that issue. I think I think that, along with the family's intention, really makes a big difference, and that's why this is shining through. What do we? I can go into this long press release, but I will tell you that I'm gonna sorry, I got to scroll down this. This is the longest press release I've ever read. Of course, it's coming from Hannah Lee. Daniel Neeson is a president and co-creator, and he is partnered with Adam Millman. And if those names sound familiar to us, because they are clothing, they own a clothing line. They're like outfitters of some sort. I don't believe they make clothes and shirts out of recycled plastic bottles. Yeah, it's crazy. Yes. They apparently, it's called Pine Outfitters, okay, and these are the 2 guys responsible for this tequila. I'm a little. I'll tell you what. I'm impressed with the fact of, number one, for what their company stands for and why they went to this distillery. But the quality that's coming out of this bottle is, and I've had just about every single tequila that I can possibly have from NOM 1414, and every time they make a Blanco for a different line, it's not the same juice. It's always a little bit different. They tweak it somehow. Their master distillers, Sergio Vivanco and Cesar, I believe is the other gentleman's name. They're the 2 guys responsible for many of the lines at NOM 1414. What do we know about pricing, Skip, on this? I know it's not a big California yet, but it's getting there.
Retail, it's the Blanco is anywhere from $39.99 to $41.99.
Wow. I think that's robbery. It's part of the business plan. However, apparently the press release says that they wanted to make the tequilas approachable and accessible to all price points, to all people. Some people are price conscious. That's just the bottom line. Some of them are Blanco drinkers. Some of them want a little bit more wood in their tequila, and they go for the aged spirits. What do you think, Skip? Is this worth every penny?
It's right in the ballpark of some of my favorites, and very affordable.
Yeah. I'm stunned, because this is really fantastic. I don't know what else to say. I can say a couple of things about there's lip numbness. I held it between my gum and my lips, but it's you know, it's not aggressive. It's only 80 proof. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say it's approachable. And there's a lot of character in the Blanco.
Right.
And I'm kind of, it's interesting to me because now I know where these guys are coming from. You know, because some younger sippers and drinkers, the up and coming generations, they have a different impression of what they think tequila should be. Some of them think it should be sweeter. Some of them think it shouldn't have any finish. This is more traditional than I thought it would be coming from those two guys.
Mm.
So that impresses the hell out of me. That and the fact that they probably listen to the Vivancos as well. You know, I'm sure the hand of the maker's definitely in the juice right here. So
now they also say that it's distilled at near proof.
Ah, okay. That's now that explains the only other tequila that does that we know of that has openly said that is Tapatio, and El Tesoro de Don Felipe, which is also in Arandas, and Carlos Camarena. They've always made it a point to tell people they are distilled to proof. So in other words, they don't cut theirs with water. They don't overproof it and then cut it with water to bring it down to 80 proof. It gets to 80 proof, boom, then you stop.
Yeah.
That explains the character. It's much what happens, folks, is when they do that, there's much more agave character in the finished product. There's a small handful of tequilas that can do that. One other one that I used to love. The owners were in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and they were called Silver Coin, and their Blanco was also distilled to proof. I'm not even sure if they're in the league anymore. But if you find that one, those are the ones that are really hardy because at 80 proof, they have a full flavor. And I have had higher proofs from NOM 1414 that are just delicious, just beautiful. Skip, what do you think? You think this is a Brand of Promise nominee?
I think it would be, yes.
Here we go.
Absolutely.
Brand of Promise nominee in that Blanco category. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to us on Sipping Off the Cuff. That's our take on De Nada Tequila. Look for it online, first of all. If you're not in the state where they've opened it up right now, I'm sure you'll be able to find it online. Drizzly does carry it, so for those of you who have the Drizzly app, you can just have them delivered to your door, man, okay? Because that's the way to go. But that's our take on De Nada. Stick with us. We've got the Reposado, and I'm excited about that one because they do something really different about that one, okay? But you've been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media, all of our channels and networks. Please subscribe to us if you're watching us on YouTube. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, give us a like, follow Skip on his Instagram. Yeah, give us a comment. You know what? If you've had it before, write a comment. You know, give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys. And as I like to say, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.